Movie recap. The Latchkey Prince. In the city of Ashenholm, where the rain never quite stops and the chimneys cough out plumes of endless smoke, there is an old saying, if you find a key with no door, be careful what you unlock. It is the kind of phrase that parents murmur to restless children and old shopkeepers grumble as they bolt their doors at night. Few take it seriously until the day a boy with silver eyes and a coat made of locked chains appears in the market square. He carries a key too large for his hands and asks a single question. Have you seen my door? This is where our story begins, with Eleanor Nell Blackwood, a locksmith's apprentice with a knack for opening things that ought to stay shut. When the strange boy crosses her path, she feels an unexplainable pull toward the key he carries. Something about it whispers to her, not with words but with the hum of something vast and ancient. Against all reason, she follows him, straight into a forgotten alley where the city folds into itself and the rain falls sideways. The boy, who calls himself Thorn, claims he is looking for the first door, an entrance older than the world itself. He speaks in riddles, half-truths, and forgotten nursery rhymes. But one thing is clear. Something is terribly wrong. The world is unraveling. Doors leading to places they shouldn't, people vanishing into thin air, and shadows that stretch too far from their owners. The key, Thorn explains, is the only thing that can fix it, but he has no memory of where the door it unlocks might be. Nell, skeptical but unable to resist a mystery, agrees to help. With only an old map drawn in constellations and a key that glows faintly in the dark, they set off through the city's forgotten places, abandoned train stations where echoes repeat themselves, rooftops where the wind sings in lost languages, and alleys where time folds like paper. Along the way, they encounter peculiar figures. The doormaker, an eccentric old woman who carves doors from thin air and warns that some should never be opened. The Midnight Bureau, a group of well-dressed men who carry ledger books filled with missing people and offer contracts in exchange for memories. The Knocking Man, a faceless figure who appears when one knocks on the wrong door 3 times and always asks the same question. Are you sure you belong here? As Nell and Thorn follow the trail of the first door, the world grows increasingly unstable. Streets loop back on themselves, entire buildings flicker in and out of existence, and people forget who they are mid-sentence. Nell begins to suspect that Thorn is not just looking for the door, he is part of it. The key is not simply a tool, but a lock as well, and Thorn is the only thing keeping something else from slipping through. They finally find the first door hidden beneath the oldest bridge in the city, where the river runs backward at midnight. It is a towering ancient thing, carved with symbols that shift when unobserved. As Nell fits the key into the lock, the truth is revealed. Thorn is not a boy at all, but the last fragment of a forgotten king, locked away long ago to keep the world safe from whatever lies beyond the door. He was never meant to escape. The climax unfolds in a flurry of impossible physics and unraveling reality. The door, sensing its key has returned, begins to open, revealing a void filled with the remnants of abandoned worlds, half-built cities, unfinished dreams, and echoes of people who no longer exist. The Midnight Bureau arrives, demanding the key, insisting that everything lost must remain forgotten. The Knocking Man whispers warnings that this door is the only thing holding the world together. Nell faces an impossible choice. Return Thorn to the door and lock it forever, preserving the world at the cost of his existence, or leave it open and risk letting something unspeakable through. In the end, she makes a third choice. She forges a new key, one that does not seal but mends. With Thorn's help, she reshapes the door into something new, allowing him to remain without breaking the world apart. The movie ends with the city returning to a fragile normalcy, though Nell can't help but notice that some doors are not quite where they used to be. Thorn, now bound to the city rather than the door, walks the streets as its silent guardian, ensuring that the wrong doors stay closed and the right ones remain unseen. As Nell locks up her shop for the night, she finds a small brass key on her workbench, one she does not remember making. The final line appears on the screen. Not all doors lead somewhere, but some never truly close.